this thing with. All right, going live. I am not live. Fantastic. I am just talking to myself. It's like talking to myself. YouTube, please let me know. All right, it looks like it's working now. All right, can we do a? Ooh, somebody asked about Dash. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. Well, not a community member question, but hey, you know what? I'll take a look at Dash during the stream. Okay, let me. I have one more alarm I gotta set, and then we're gonna get rock and roll. So just a heads up how this works. This will be a shorter stream. I usually do it for an hour and a half or so, but I got to go right at 7. The questions that I take, I typically only have time to address the questions from YouTube tier members who are part of either. There are 2 YouTube tiers, and then I have a Discord. The 2 tiers in on YouTube tiers, they get first dibs on questions during live shows, along with super chats. And they get Cryptillion tier on YouTube gets daily updates from me. I think you got 3 today or 4 today alone, right? Sometimes you get multiple days. The only days I go blank is 1 day on a weekend usually. So it's 6 days a week. And then Discord is, is the more inclusive or the more holistic approach to checking out the crypto community we got going on. But the answers or the questions that you ask, I do skip them on purpose to go to the next YouTube tier member question in the Q&A that has the circle with the star inside. You can see it. So I do skip over questions, not to be mean, but I do on purpose for a reason. So with no further ado, I have about 15 minutes. I have about 15 minutes to talk about Bitcoin and it going down in a bullish pullback while the previous stock leader, Dow Jones, just totally tanked. It gave up its baton as leader, in my opinion, right? So now the whole market, it needs to rally up sometime because everything has to retest from where it broke down. It doesn't have to, like it's not a rule etched in stone, but it is an unwritten rule. So let's go see what that could look like and what initiators you're going to see when you can say to yourself, this rally, whatever's happening now, we're most likely at least going to test the breakdown point of these assets. So let's dive in and to see which assets are the most important and what we can expect in time. You ready? Bullish pullback. Here's the yearly low, 15.5 in late November, November 22nd. Connected with the low, scoop below it, zoomed way up, scooping below it with nice, heavy 2017 support right here. And it's scooping below. Now, that means when price gets back up to this orange line or this orange line, you might get a lower high there. And it could get rejected by this line and then finally break down for the first time. So here it broke down and retested its breakdown point, but then kept going up, right? So this time, if it hits here, it's gonna test this orange zone again, its breakdown point, and you would be watching out for a lower high. So zooming into this section here, that means the lower this scoops below, the more and more chance that this is then resistance. Does that make sense? So here, it fell from both. It's not a coincidence, right? So look here. Last time, it got stuck under here. It couldn't hold this either, and that's exactly when it accelerated because big money is looking at this line. We've already confirmed that beyond a reasonable doubt on this channel last week. We already confirmed, with Wix. Sophisticated algorithms from traditional finance loaded with tens of millions of dollars, they are aware of that line. What the next move on Bitcoin, it will involve this orange line, but it's a question of, does it hit the blue line first, or does it go all the way below this, scoop really low, and then have even a bigger retest up? That would, but it would still come back up to this line. That's only 5%. But if it goes below 17,120 or 17,220, you need this box. It's $100 range. 17,220, 17,120. But the lower it goes on this move down, the more and more chance it finds this trend line, this horizontal, and this EMA, the weekly 10. So here, take a look. If it goes down, this is what's gonna trap it later. It'll flip this to resistance. It'll flip this to resistance, which we've already confirmed also that this was the line, right? It fell from it, rejected, tanked. And then you have the weekly 10 coming here too. So you have three big things here. Like it's like a big rock, right? And a person of this size cannot lift this rock up. So it'll take a lot of buying pressure to hold up the rock and to get above it the lower it goes. Making sense there? It's not a death sentence. It doesn't mean it can't, but if it hits this blue box or lower, the next rally, whenever you get a move up, it could be a week later, whatever, you are expecting a lower high. As of now, how do you navigate this? Well, regardless of where it hits, whether it tings here and comes up, or goes down here, goes up, scoops below, goes up, or stops here and goes up. Doesn't matter which one happens over the next day. No matter what happens, you just need to go to the tiny time frames and look at how the candles interact with this. So technically, it has not used this as perfect resistance yet. Or, yeah, so it used it as good support, boom. Oh, no, here, this candle right here, used it as resistance. On the way back up, higher low, broke above. That's close enough. Yeah, so resistance again. That resistance doesn't count because you stuck a higher low, went up. Honestly, it doesn't have a perfect retest, a bearish retest. So, I mean, I think that no matter what, this needs to come up to this line. But once it does, you're going to be able to tell, okay, I'm on higher low watch. I already know that. Is it going to be a lower high? Just look at how are the candles interacting with this. If it gets on top, starts bouncing, well, guess what? It's going to come up the air. Could it get rejected and then come down? Sure. But once again, that's when you start looking at how do the candles use this as support, or do they come like this and start using it as resistance? That's all you do on how to tell, am I on lower high watch during this move up? I'm not saying the move up is current. It could, again, focus is, I'm not saying it's going up from here. When it does, it could scoop down, could hit here, or it could go now. That doesn't matter. What matters is once it does get here, because it will get here. Like, it's extremely likely it will get there. You just zoom in. How does it behave on this line? Now, external charts for Bitcoin, I am using the US 500, which is the futures of SPX, of the S&P 500. So look at this. If you can see this, the lower high watch will be a 45-degree angle. So I, on crypto, am going to get more bearish once this general area is hit. I think this is the leader, and that could be as low as this. I mean, it could just come up to test this. Actually, you know what? That's probably what's going to happen. It's gonna want to test this horizontal. So what I'm using mostly outside of crypto, the chart that, my external crypto chart that I'm going to rely on most for this current bounce, along with Bitcoin, I'm using this line. The top of the of the bull trap zone. Massive rally of August created the top of it. So if price of US 500, let me zoom way in here. So now I'm definitely on lower high watch, and I know exactly, well, actually when, because the cross, you get the when. So I know when and where to start looking, and that's Christmas Day. So it might just have some upside movement for a while, but it could also come down here and test down here and then work its way up. So in order to have your best external chart for a clue on Bitcoin, now you zoom into this guy, try to make your lines look similar to mine, and do the tiny candles. How are they interacting with this line? Has it been rejected once? No, it hasn't. Look, came down above it, came down above the purple, came down above the purple. No rejections here. Came down, did not reject. it's pseudo rejection, but higher low. So that means it's not a rejection. And here we are again. So I think this has a better chance. This chart has a better chance to hold this trend line, maybe go below one more time, and then it's going to stay on top. So it's all about the interaction with candles on this line, and this will tip you off. So for example, I'm in 1x longs or spot trades on crypto right now because I think Bitcoin will, bounce from this general area. Maybe 1% move down more, altcoins 2%, whatever. But I would bail on this, on those longs, 1x longs, if it goes like here, I'm out. I would use this chart to make a crypto move. Even if Bitcoin is not below its line, I would, I would still bail if this chart does that, because Bitcoin will follow. This chart's going to lead Bitcoin, and the way that the index interacts with this exact line, this line here, it will walk Bitcoin like a puppy with it on a leash. Right now, I don't see anything to be too concerned about to the downside. Bitcoin could swipe 17,220 when this happens. Could happen. But right now, Bitcoin is outperforming the market. So I think, Bitcoin's got a decent chance to stay where it's at and work its way up. But this line right here is going to give you a great indication of things to happen before they happen. It's your crystal ball, essentially. And that is everything that's important. So when does lower high watch end on Bitcoin? When you get back above 17,760 or 17,760 or so, when you get it back above this blue line. Lower high, is lower high watch over? Actually, hold on, let me confirm that. I think that's accurate. Yeah, lower high watch is not over just because you get above this orange line, because then you're going to be stuck in this triangle. So yeah, it's 17,760. Once you are done with, you don't have to be so worried about lower highs after this is proven as support. If it goes like this, in that exact moment, has this been proven as support? No. So that doesn't count as the lower high watch ends. You're still on lower high watch, because that could turn into a failure rejection pattern. Failure above the line here, and then rejected by the line there. You need it to be used as support, 17,760. So on your chart, things that you want to put on your chart is the weekly 10 EMA using an MTF EMA indicator. There are several, so that means you can have the 1 minute chart, but have the weekly 10 on it. That's what MTF means. You need 17,760 horizontal. You need to go on your chart, connect the 15,000, the yearly low trend line. You need it to look like mine. It goes back to, it goes back to the 15.5 low. Right there. Okay. So these are all the things that you need on your Bitcoin chart to know what what I think is important to help you manage whatever your plans are in crypto right now, if you're trading or not. So coming all the way down here is not scary, but it does increase the chance of a lower high. Lower high watch is not done until you get here. So all you need right now is the weekly 10, horizontal, the ascending line, and then this $100 range box here. That is all you need on Bitcoin until either this is used as support or this is broken below. You don't need anything else on your chart right now. It's all structural analysis. Besides, until the weekly 10 comes into play, then you're looking at how do candles interact with the weekly 10. And I think for Bitcoin, that might be it. Yeah, we got the external stuff. We know the line here, and that line currently is at 38.93 on US 500 specifically. See how it says US 500 right there? And so you do need one external source to Bitcoin, and that would be it. And this is the one line I'm looking at. So even break it down clearly. Above here, immediately micro bullish on Bitcoin. Below here, immediately micro bearish on Bitcoin. The farther away you get from this one line, the better your odds get that is the direction. So right now, our odds super good that we should be long. No, why? Because it's too close to this line. Do you have a 0.008% chance that it's up? Yeah, it's just over 50%. that the next move's up, but that's not great odds. That's like flipping a coin. Would you, make bets on flipping a coin? I mean, not really, unless the other person is offering you something more valuable for the trade. But anyway, this one line is going to help you. I would make yours look the same on this chart, and it'll help guide your Bitcoin and crypto decisions for now. And that is it for Bitcoin. Let's move on to some questions. All right. Hey, Tim. Holding some Trias. Yeah, Trias is looking weak right now, everybody, by the way. No, it's not going to happen. 250 is not going to happen soon. It could happen, but all right, still look probable for Santa rally, and if not 70 cents is your target for Trias. Okay, mildly average. Good questions. Everything is specific enough for me to address everything you said. All right, we're going to go to the 2-hour chart. All right, here's Trias. I got a super chat question about it. Is 250 still on the table, and am I still looking at 70 cents for a target to buy? No and yes to those questions. Let me explain. So in my last analysis, I drew a black triangle here, and I said it's going to fill out this triangle, and it has to make a choice by the end of the triangle. Let's go see how that analysis worked, right? Because I said 250 is still on the table, but in this triangle, it can't break down. And if it does break down, it's going to break down, then come here and get rejected, is what the last video said. Go to it if you don't believe me. If you're new to my channel, go to my last Trias video. I drew that black triangle last video. And that was before it got filled out. And you could tell it was before because price actually went a little over it. So I made this triangle here, anticipating it's going to fill out a triangle and that it must make its decision by roughly the end of the triangle. It made its decision how long after? About a day after, but this was a how long of a triangle? This was a 2.5 day long triangle. I was off by about 18 hours, but whatever. I just anticipated it. So the way I did this, how did I anticipate that happening? Well, this, we have this really heavy trend line here that connects these lows just like Bitcoin. So this is going to be defended. I already knew that. I saw sellers sell harder than buyers could defend. So that means the next time it approaches this line, it could be pretty bad. But I thought to myself, well, if I almost I'm not certain, but I have an edge on the idea that it'll at least walk up here a little bit. Where would it fall off? And the reason I made that triangle is because usually if it's creeping up, it has to make its, on anything going up and ascending, bullish higher lows. If you're running into it, you look left. And if you have a horizontal there, it forms a triangle. Boom, boom, boom. That's how I knew. And this is, Now, could I have made the triangle a little bit better? Yeah, because I just kind of threw it on. I think I didn't look left far enough. I think I lined it up with this. So I said, boom, boom. It has to make up its mind by the end of this triangle, which was still pretty close. But technically, what pushed it out of this triangle was all of this. So it just went up a little higher. I thought it was going to be this one. Same effect. The analysis worked, but it went up higher. It went up to a different horizontal that then pushed it out. So after you fall out of something like this that's been defended multiple times, you already know when you fall out, you're going to come get a retest. So is everything in crypto. But this one's already gotten it. Right? Chili's has already gotten it. So now on Trias, you're absolutely on lower high watch until proven otherwise. Until you're back above this line. I don't even think it's going to get there. But if it does, I'm willing to, change my thoughts. But even here, I'm not bullish. I think that's where I would sell. And if I could short it, I would. Just like I would have shorted it here and, here. Even though it might have come up shy of my short. I might have missed it here because it's too far away. And so now you're on lower high watch. You're now looking at this. this is what you need on Trias. You need to draw a channel just like this. This is going to get the moves right. So to me, it looks like if I were buying down here, which not financial advice, I'm actually, no, I did buy this line. Because I'm still testing out Shrimpy with stops. So I actually did buy this line. I remember doing it too, and let's see how far out. I think I put like 4 or 5%. Nope, I wouldn't be stopped out quite yet. I don't think it'll get over there. And so if it does get above that and use it as support, then I'm going to delete this triangle, get it out of the way, and I'm going to reanalyze. I'm just going to take it out of consideration. Whatever I was looking at here is no longer valid if it gets above this line. Now, I would probably keep the trend line there because you're obviously going to have, if it get above this line, you're going to have a sell-off there. Like you will, it will bump its head if that happens. But honestly, I don't think that'll happen. I wouldn't be surprised since it broke down so nice. I wouldn't be surprised if it just does this until it gets to this horizontal at 150 and then busts below. So I think it's going to go boom, boom, boom. No, actually, let me draw it out. You are going to form a triangle like this. So you see how a descending line is now going to a horizontal that also forms a triangle, obviously, right? There you go. There is the next triangle that's going to happen. And it's actually going to be a little bit shorter than that. Because it's got to make up its mind. It technically doesn't have to. This is around Christmas. Yeah, so everything's got to make up its... Honestly, the charts... I have one team leader on Discord who's been... His main guess is dump on around Christmas. Like within 2 or 3 days of Christmas. The charts are starting to align with what he's saying. I couldn't see it in the charts, so I never had that thought, but... his guess, so he knows it's a guess, but man, there are lots of stuff. There's a lot of stuff pointing to Christmas Day, everybody, or really close. So this is going to stay in this triangle behind me until about Christmas. That's all that's going to happen. And if I'm wrong, you will know what to do if you draw this. Look. If you keep bumping your head on this, right? You're obviously not going up, so you would want to bail on anything that you're buying, right? If you see it come, here, let's zoom way in. So if you see it go like this, and then here, but take it and then break higher low structure anytime. Okay, here's an easy rule. Approaching any of these lines, if you break higher low structure, then you're not getting above it for the most part. You have to maintain higher low structure as you approach the next obstacle. Hell, Trias doesn't even have a higher low on the 15-minute chart yet. It doesn't even have a higher low on the 5-minute. So technically right now, it's not done. Could it be done? Yeah. But right now, I mean, shit, I would wait for a higher low to stick its landing. You know, I would wait on this one. This is not looking very bullish. And it, you know, when the stock sold off, this sold off heavily along with it. So you need to wait. Oops, I'm on the wrong. Where am I at here? Clicked the wrong thing. honestly, because this sold off so heavily, buyers aren't going to feel comfortable stepping in. So honestly, I would wait for some higher lows. And I think I would wait till something like this, move up, then a higher low more on the 1 hour chart. I would probably want, at least a 30-minute higher low, not just that one 5-minute one. Because, you know, you could get multiple 5-minute higher lows and it just goes like this. 5-minute higher low, higher low, higher low, and then come down. It could easily get rejected from there. So I would wait till it gets rejected by either this line or this line, sticks a higher low, then closes 2 green 15-minute candles, and then enter. I would not do it before then. It's too bearish. Buyers are going to be too scared to enter. They're not going to come look at it and say, ooh, $2.50. No, they're going to say, holy cow, this sold off. I'm not getting in until it does something different. So yeah, this is going to be a slow burner. It's got to do a longer sideways deal, or it's got to have action here like this to establish itself with higher lows. But either way, it's got to go sideways for a while. It will not go straight up to here. It's got a better chance to hit here first and then do that. But it could bounce off here and just have this channel. The channel will tell you what to do. Right now, it tells you don't be 1x long, or don't, we're not buying on spot because you don't even have a 5-minute higher low. It's more likely that this is it first. Now, if it hits to this line down here, $1.50, that would be a spike below the bottom line. Okay, I personally, not financial advice, I personally would buy that without a higher low. Would I go all in on it? So let's say I have $1,000 reserved for Trias trading. Would I hit that with all 1,000? I mean, I would probably hit it with at least half. I would at least get a half entry exactly on that line. So in a bear market, if your momentum is down, but you're at a massive line, you still don't want to go all in. In a bull market, okay, that's justifiable. In a bear market, I mean, I would wait for a higher low to do my second entry, or wait till this to be support with a higher low, something like that. But this looks like a pretty good target for Trias, and this could happen even if Bitcoin goes sideways and up. This looks bearish, folks. Bitcoin going up is not gonna, unless Bitcoin flies to 20K, this would take it up. But yeah, that is what we got for Trias. Hopefully that was, I hopefully gave you enough information to make it worth your $5 super chat. If I didn't, feel free to let me know. Like, if you get the feeling, I'm not joking either. So super chats, like if you feel like, that wasn't quite what I was looking for, because you paid me money, right? Not that I'll agree with you, or not that I'll change my actions based off of your feedback, but I might. So if for anybody who does super chats in the future, or even the community tier members, you've paid on a monthly basis to ask questions, so they're technically super chats. If you feel you're not getting what you pay for, I need you to let me know, because I'll fix it, and I'll fix it quickly. All right, but that is Trias for everybody. All right. Hey, Raduli, C singer, Songor, but yeah, let's just call you, Dooley. Hey, Raduli, tier member. I'm glad to see you here. You're quiet, you say. It's been a long time since we talked about XPR, which we saw on, what was it? Blocktivity. It is one of the most used blockchains in the world. And it's a micro cap, which is weird. Like, that is not common. And so is Tone. TE Food, or which is now called Tone. It's also a micro cap, and I think it's still 4 years later in the top 20 most used blockchains in the world. Last bear market 2018, it was between 12 and 8 every second of the day, or every second of the bear market. But XPR. Okay, so what's your question? Can you see a possible bear market bottom in 2025 top? Sure. Live stream question about XPR. Can I see any bottom targets, and can I have? Do I see any numbers for 2025 future play on Proton? XPR is what I think it was, not XRP. So let's look at it versus Bitcoin just for shits and giggles first, okay? All right, let's make myself small. It's trying to use this as support, that wick right there. It looks like it's going to hold it higher low. So this looks fine. I think it's okay. So XPR. Uh-oh. Holy shit. There was news and everybody's just sold the shit out of it since the news. Oh no. This looks pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. But you do know, you can feel pretty confident if it does have like a nasty fall, it's probably gonna stop at the top of this channel or the top of the point of control. So if we have a Christmas dump, you know, and it keeps working its way down through February, right there. 0006 to 000, just make it 4. 4 to 6 with 3 zeros. Hopefully that's about a 45 to 65% move down. 67. Yeah, but the original move down should be about 45. So if it spikes down on Christmas, you have a big sell off. Hopefully that's only 45 to 55%. Perfect. Yes, that's what it should be. All right, and then it would keep going down from there. All right, that's what I would do. 0.6 to 0.4, 0.4 to 0.6, 000 in front. And upside targets. Okay, so realize though that about 80% of 2017 coins, and so the ones from 2017 and earlier that had all-time highs in 2017, so it could have been a 2013 coin that had a 2017 top with 20K top. Everything just went crazy 2017. But if a coin experienced 2017 run, then in 2021 or 2020 to 2021 run, 80% of those, not just dead ones, like of the coins still traded, it was close to 80%, did not pass all-time highs. Dash, Litecoin, Monero are 3 of them. They didn't break all-time highs. Got close, at least Dash and Litecoin and Monero both did the exact same thing. They did a 4-year double top, essentially. They went up to their previous all-time, but they didn't break it. If you want to get technical, I think one of them did break it by several dollars or whatever, but they didn't break all-time highs. So if even Litecoin, an OG of crypto, didn't break all-time highs in a bull run, you have to realize that this coin becomes a statistic. Kadena becomes a statistic. No matter how much you do this, it becomes a statistic. Do you think you have a better chance of that 20% being with your chest-pounding coin? Sure. But so does everybody else. You don't know. You just have to realize, I know I'm chest pounding this, but I also know I'm looking for a 1/5 of the pie to happen. And here are the reasons why I think this is a special 1/5. And it will outperform what Bitcoin and Monero did, you know, relative to their previous all-time high in the next bull market. It will become a statistic. All right, now let's go. Well, if this is the slope down, I would say the inverse will be the slope up. So let's say here, actually, wait. No, I can do it like this. How do I, oh no, here, like this. I can go, thank you. Okay, same slope. Actually, no, it's going to have a middle period. I need to go to a bigger time frame. Let's mark off the middle of 2025, even though it'll, if it is, it'll probably be November. Okay, so that's when the next top could be. 4-year cycles maintaining, right? November, December 2017, November, December 2021, November, December 2025, skip by 4s. It's a fairly safe assumption. But in the middle, if we do bottom here, you're going to have some rounding feature, or it's going to be one of these. It's either going to round out with a couple of bumps, or it's going to be a round like this. It'll either be convex or concave, but it's going to be some rounded feature, and then it'll maintain the opposite slope of what it had. It's got to break all-time highs. Slope. So if it maintains this average slope and maxes out right with the market, if the market's maxing out, oops. Since we can't do origin lines, it could hit the psychological dollar number. And that's with the same slope as this bear market. That's a massive ass run. Wow. The chart says that now is okay. Let me be very clear. Do I think that's what's going to happen? No. What I'm saying is that is as high as I see possible. So if you have a yard that's fenced in, you don't always play at the fence, do you? This is the fence. I'm not that the playing with the fence is not my favorite spot, but the fence is still there. I'm recognizing where the fence is. Make sense? All right. Not saying this is what's going to happen. It could, right? Because if I'm running around my yard, I could run into my fence. Okay. All right. Yeah, it honestly could, it could hit $1. Because oftentimes this average slope of a bull market is actually hotter than the average slope of I mean, look how hot this was. You know, it tends to go boom with bigger pullbacks and that kind of stuff. So, but don't forget, it does become a statistic. There factually, is about a 20% chance of it breaking all-time highs next time, regardless of me saying $1. But I answered your question. Downside targets, upside targets, and again, this is not just the target. This is like the max target. So it doesn't mean bet on that, but it does mean it is possible. And there you go. I hope I did enough disclaimers in that. I clearly didn't when I, during the bull market when I couldn't get views or likes as a new YouTuber unless I made stupid ass titles like Chainlink $700. And then when I made the clickbait, not video, because in the video I mentioned it's not going to happen. Like sometimes I counted it 5 times. This is not probable. And then people later, when that high number didn't happen, people was like, you said $1,000 Trias or whatever. I said it's not probable. I showed you the highest I could see it going. All right, anyway. So hopefully I had enough disclaimers with XPR. I don't have people coming on, you said $1. Okay, now let's take a look at, I guess, Papa Long Balls. What's the top for KDA in a Santa rally? Kadena, if we get a Santa rally in the stock market and crypto, how high would Kadena go? Let's get that question answered. New viewers, take a look at these origin lines here. And since origin lines don't exist on anybody else's channel on Earth, you want to go ahead. So the origin lines are these guys here. They're usually not yellow on my charts, but and now this is a channel, trading channel, in which it's the average slope of the fall. So we have the average slope or a trading channel. We have a macro line that connects the tops. So it's just a line that, you know, kind of looks like it might be hit because it was every other time it went above it. Like, you know, resistance, 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 fell from it, resistance, broke through. I mean, it looks like it might want to touch it in the future, but it's pretty far down there. Like, it would mean Kadena is like 32 cents. So it might not be touched, but this is what that is. I think like the lowest I could ever see Kadena going is this line. So if you don't have this line, I mean, you just connect the beginning, right? So we have origin lines and we have the average slope of the trading channel, and Kadena Price has been in it for almost like 2/3 of a year. So 225 days. And now we're going to zoom in to try to answer this question. 15-minute chart. If we get a Santa rally, okay, so we know, or many of you returning viewers or frequent viewers already know the rules of origin lines for the most part. So here's a pop quiz. It went below an origin line. As of now, is this so on the 5-minute chart at least, is this condemned already to have to hit the next line down? Have the rules initiated where it's condemned to have to do that before it gets a rally? Yes or no? No, because it has not used this proven this as resistance yet. Price behaves 3 ways at origin lines. 3 main ways. You either crash through it to go hit the next origin line, which even sometimes it crashes through too on Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever. You either crash through, you hit it and stick the landing, or you do something in between. That's it. And something in between could be, you know, resistance, resistance, spill, or or resistance, resistance, and then blast off. You can ride the line like a horse, or you could bounce, or you could fly through. Okay, and the going on both sides can happen. You know, yeah, those are the 3 ways. So right now it looks like it's not going to crash through because we're already seeing green candles. Is it possible? So these are only 5-minute candles. Is it possible that in retrospect every single 1-hour candle is red? Yeah, that could happen, and therefore it did technically just crash right through. It's possible. So what I would do here is just realize those are the 3 ways that price interacts on any asset, even Apple. That's why I already know Apple's going to be at 115 bucks or lower by the end of March, by April 1st, 2023. I already know it will be. It'll be there or lower, or it will have hit there or lower by that point. So, because the origin line rules and they work on everything, even the price of black market testicles and oil and everything. With that, the rules don't lock this into one or 2 of the options. Right now, all 3 options are available. So you can't really guess what's going to happen yet, but since we're not condemned, I guess the Christmas rally, I could see it being as high as a failure pattern above that line. And I would actually make this, I would connect different wicks. I would connect that wick and that wick for the top and bottom. That would be the width. So I'm looking here. Let me zoom in. This is what you should do on Kadena as well. And I saw somebody on Twitter start copying this, which is great. Like, I wish more people would do this. Anyway, you should do it too. Yeah, I had never seen anywhere on Twitter, and I follow that person, but I've never seen anybody else do it. And then I saw them start doing it. But it's great. I hope other people start doing it, because it's just a trend line. It's a fat trend line. So you match it up with the wicks. Actually, I need it a little wider. Right there. Boom. So now we're zoomed way in. Let me go to the 15-minute chart. It's still touching. And still touching perfectly here. And touching perfectly there. That is my line. So now I zoom out. Does this make sense on a percentage basis? Only 8% rally? That's only over a day. Okay, no, a Christmas rally. So now I need to get oriented on the time axis. So where is Christmas? That's the new year. Nope, it's got to do something before that. Shit. If it breaks above there, then it's going here. And that's probably where it would stop on a rally in December through January. I don't see it getting higher than this. $1, let's call it $1.10. But you're going to be able to tell, is it going to happen? Because right now, what? Okay, so again, what shape have I talked about on Kadena, and anticipated because of ascending lines and, crossing with other ones? Triangles. Can you see a triangle before I draw it? So I'm getting ready to say, I anticipate price fills out, this triangle. Where am I going to put it? Hopefully it's obvious to all of you, but you need to be able to anticipate this for yourselves. You need to be able to do this. You need to be able to tell, is an inverse head and shoulders like brewing up? Like you need to be able to see it from I would say from this point here. So from this point here, you need to realize that you are looking at a potential macro head and shoulders. And either you have, so for example, after this second wick down here, you realize that since you hit an origin line, either this is going to be the neckline of the, or no, something like this. Either somewhere around here is going to be the neckline of the inverse head and shoulders, or it's going to be, it's going to get rejected by here, and the neckline might be somewhere closer to here. Or it's actually, a lot of necklines are this way. Yeah, they're at an angle. And you need to be able to tell, okay, so, right here, you can't see all the rest of price. I anticipate price either going straight up to look left 1 to 2 local highs, 1, 2, or it's going to get rejected and form another trend line. And you need to be able to anticipate, this is what it will do. But what ended up happening is the inverse head and shoulders actually didn't form until this next one. But you need to expect it, right? So now when you get down here, you look left and be like, this looks like a neckline. This looks like the move down. So what's going to happen is it's going to inverse that. It's going to make some type of neckline. So you can tell that this is at an angle. So the neckline should be here and somewhere around this point. So like this, move it over. Somewhere around that point, it's going to spike down. Somewhere around there, if it goes up, it will spike down first. So it actually happened here, as you can tell. But you need to be able to piece all that together before it happens. Now, and the triangles are a great exercise to anticipate what's going to happen before it happens. Yeah, this triangle, you're going to be able to tell whether you're going to get a Christmas rally on Kadena or not if you get above this point. And I can't give you one price because it changes day by day. Look at it. You just draw the trend line like I showed you. Now, do I anticipate Kadena getting at least up to that? Yeah, it'll probably hit the bottom of it. Would I personally be a seller? I would. Because worst case, it keeps going. I don't care. I'll just look for something else that's going to, I can trade something else and sell into it and take my reserved Kadena money back to Kadena. But I would still be a seller into this rally around $1, $1.03, $1.02. And that is Kadena for a Christmas rally. I don't see it getting much above $1.10 at most. Yeah, XRP is another one that didn't make all-time high. Perfect. We got a question about Near Protocol. Question about Near Protocol. It's an open-ended question. Just take a look and analyze. So that's what we're going to do. I haven't looked at this chart in quite a bit. So for everybody who might be new to my channel landing on this, this is the time, since you're seeing really pretty and uniform things on the chart that you haven't seen anywhere else. As a new viewer, that's why you hit the like and you hit all alerts, the bell, because I'm going to show you how to use this stuff and make trading just make more sense. That's going to be putting goggles on you or training wheels or however you want to see it. Didn't get the breakdown yet. Somebody told me that this actually has more price history and it goes lower here. So therefore this line is not technically the end of the world like I thought it was. However, since this line, so check this out. This line was recently used as resistance, right? And it never fully proved it as support. So honestly, I still have the same thought. It did not go like this, guys and gals. Like it used this line as support and a fake out. I think it's going to hit that line again. I don't see any reason in this universe why it would not hit that line. Why it would not hit that line again, unless another large country, its people, finally reject the national currency and then adopt Bitcoin without overthrowing the government. It'll happen one day before I die, but it would take something like that to make me change my mind about this line being hit, because it did not experience bullish interactions on it. It's got to go back and prove it as not. It needs to prove this line. So I still think on a big move down. Oh, my alarm's going off. I only got like 1 or 2 minutes left. It needs to hit $1. Does it have to happen this month? No, but the longer it waits to do its move, the lower it's going to go. So a move down in January, you'll probably have like 2 or 3 lower highs on the way down. It could easily hit, so yeah, hopefully that's not more than like 70% down total. That's only 60, yeah, it's going under $1. It might take till 2023 to happen. So right here is January, the middle of January 2023. It's got to hit this line, everybody. It will happen with an extremely high likelihood. So just like, people thought, oh, it's out of this line. Well, what did it do? It fell back into it. But this time it'll probably fall to it and use it as support. And it could just bounce along. This could be the bottom line. Like a bounce on this could be the absolute bottom, and then it retests here, does its macro high or low. Races up to here, macro high or low, kind of swoops around, and then takes off with the bull market. That looks like, yeah, I would make sure I have this line on my chart and this line. And if you want me to zoom out, here you go. All-time high, 19 bucks or whatever. There we go. Copy that. Hey, John Zonas. Yeah, 𝐓𝐼𝐢𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐫 was one of my 2 worst calls in the bull market. I really did not anticipate it being delisted. That was a real bummer. But it happens. However, I did tell people I do have redemption for it. I mentioned I'm shorting Luna at 120 bucks. And that was when it was at 103. Like as it was rocking, I said, it's got to hit 120 first, and then I'm shorting. So hopefully that made up for it. Way more than made up for it. So I was looking for 120 for like 2 or 3 weeks on Luna, and then it hit it and then died. So I think I had my redemption from 𝐓𝐼𝐢𝐭𝐿. All right, we'll do Flux and then we'll go. We're going to look at Flux again. It's looking it's like Trias. The buyers have kind of fled here. And it's going to take them a while to feel comfortable again. So on Flux, if you're looking along, just realize, you know what? this has been condemned to, it has to hit this line before it hits this line. Before it hits this line. The chances of it hitting this line before this line, it's not 0, but it is less than 10%. It's single-digit percentage chance. However, could you get a failure pattern above, some trend line everybody's looking at to take out shorts and stuff? Absolutely. It could look just like that. But if you start getting above a trend line like this, after you get above this origin line here, just realize that that's where it's going to turn around. It won't go higher. It does not have permission. It's not going to break rules because we already know even better than Bitcoin, this follows the origin lines better than Bitcoin. And for new viewers, if you don't know what origin lines are and you're a Flux fan landing on my channel, you need to subscribe right now and hit the bell. And you probably want to copy this. Unless you're a content creator, don't copy my work. This is original to my channel and me. These are called origin lines. I manually made them. So you just hold control and keep the lines parallel. And, once you get a couple, you can actually just highlight 3 or 4 in a row and drag it down. Make it equidistant. You're good to go. You want to make your chart look similar to that. And I'm on the 8-hour chart right now. Let me put it on the 4-hour, see if it fits. Nope, it doesn't fit. So if you might have to do it on the daily. And that's what it looks like on the daily for new viewers. Now let's go in. So the rule says you only have permission to do a fake out above the origin line. So if it does get a fake out, it will want to take shorts out over this line. Now look left for an obvious horizontal. I would say from that wick to that wick. It won't go over that one. So the failure, I don't think in a Christmas rally, so I don't think it has permission to go above 55 cents. Does this mean sell your house and do 100x long at 55 cents if that hits? No. It's possible Bitcoin is in a bullish positioning and, a rule's broken. It's possible. But as of right now, in this snapshot in time, it is a single-digit percentage chance that it hits this line first. Could those chances change if Bitcoin starts looking like the bottom's in? Sure, but it's not likely right now. And that is what you got for Flux. I would watch out for this trend line, though. It could just get stuck under here and keep riding all the way down. You need that trend line. And here's where the horizontal is from 52 to 55. And these are the things you need on your chart. Draw as many origin lines as you can from copying it. And then you'll zoom into this one. You're using that origin line, this wide horizontal, and this trend line that everybody and their mom is looking at who likes Flux. And then with using this, just realize this must be hit before that is. So what you're looking for is if it comes to 55, well, you become a seller, but you're also looking at, getting interested in being short. But also it might be short here at this. So zoom in here. You have double resistance right there. Look. So if you get a failure pattern above this trend line and it hits that, that would probably be a great entry due for a short. I'm not going to lie. You don't have to. It might not hit 55 cents. It might only just get there. That would be perfect too, because if it zooms past here, it's going to have to put your it's extremely likely that maybe it'll keep going, but if somebody were to short in this area 51 to right here in this triangle, actually right here, let's do it black. If it hits that, that's where I would begin being interested in shorting in that black triangle. But I would know how to bail very quickly, because if it starts getting above this line and using that support, I'm out of my short. I would bail immediately, because then it's going to go up, because then it's going to ride, it's going to stay on this line, on this ascending line, and keep going up, and it's going to hit the top of this. right? But until that happens, I would be more interested in beginning to be interested in shorts up there. And again, it might not even get there, folks. This is looking pretty bearish. In general, it looks like whatever news, like, I don't know what the hell this was, but whatever caused this ridiculousness, going from origin line to 2 origin lines up, the buyers from that have disappeared. And it's going to take some higher lows, at least on the 1 hour chart, before this really gets geared up. But it needs to hit this line before you get a sustainable move. And I am out of here. We will see you Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. If you see videos starting to pop up on the side, that's your bonus material. I would go ahead and take the time to watch them or refer to them if you haven't already. We'll see you Tuesday at 6 p.m. New York time next week. See ya.